I picked this one specifically because you may have not known it, but when we met, I needed you. See what I'm saying? And that connection that we adapted it instantly, right? I needed that, right? Since we met, I've finished 10 poems. Right? And every time I finish a poem, I gotta call Lex. I gotta call fucking Lex. Gotta send her a fucking video, send her a copy of my note. Cause this is what we do. Since we just been pinging back and forth, like, yo, hear this drawing, hear this drawing, hear this drawing, hear this drawing. So I appreciate you, and I know that you are the rookie of the year, and you've been writing all your life, but you just getting out here. But I appreciate your pen, because your pen put ink in mine, okay? Someone who was lost, and I was trying to find my way back out. And not to say that I didn't connect with any of you or anything like that, but I did. But that bond with her is a little special. So I'm excited. I'm excited to be able to give you your first feature spotlight. I'm excited for you to come up here and bless the stage. I'm excited for you to take this one home, tell me how it tastes and all that good stuff. But I want to give you your flowers and all that. So can we make not the mediocre noise y'all been doing all night, like loud noise for our spotlight artist, Lex Unapologetic.
So I've been in this toxic relationship for some years now, and sometimes I feel like I don't have a voice. I'm not sure if it's by force or by choice, and it doesn't really feel like force. So I guess it's me who's left choosing whether I stay or what do I say, like, whose line is it anyway? Because the way this improvised toxicity keeps taking place, ain't no joking matter. There ain't no laughing after. Ain't shit funny about this drama. But it's definitely something that makes me want to write home or grab the phone so I can call my mama and tell her, I need help. I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm serious this time. Well, kind of. Alright, not really, because see, I'm from Philly, and we don't back down from shit. So I stand up to my abuser. Well, mostly I sit down. Sometimes I stand up but never really back down. You see, the toxicity of our relationship be like, Lex, I love your thighs. I love how big and soft they are. And I need them to stay that way. So no, you can't go for a walk, can't go to the gym today. At least not without making sure I'm good first. And I'm always good, right? Always fill you up till you don't want no more. Well, you don't need no more. Because you always want more, but that's just it. That's why you love me so much. You just can't get enough of me. And yo, this shit isn't healthy for me. And I know that, and that's why I'm trying to leave. Because see, this toxic relationship I'm talking about ain't got shit to do with a man. I'm talking about food, That shit got me in a chokehold, and sometimes I feel like I'm about to choke. Hold on. Because I do be fighting back, trying to fuck shit up in this ring, and it ain't even made of onions, but sometimes it just really makes me want to cry, like, why can't I just get out of this box? Got me feeling like a Big Mac, but ain't nothing secret about this sauce. Everyone can see just how cheesy I am about what's mine, can see how I snack wrap up these wounds, just praying that with lettuce stop hurting. At least enough to make it through the day. But then, what happens tomorrow? When I get so deep in my feelings, all I want to do is eat away my sorrows. Doubling down on these feelings, double cheeseburger, double chinning, indubitably sealing the deal, caught in a pickle like, this shit really got me feeling sour. And I try to patch up my life with food, but then I feel like I always need something sweet. And I swear to God, it's like literally right after I eat. And I know it sounds corny, but yeah, I'm one of them, y'all, and I can't help it. Or maybe I don't want to, and it sounds kind of selfish, because I really don't want to get out of this cage. Rib by rib, I've been beefing with myself and everyone around me can see me drowning, but I really don't want no help. And I'm so caked up, I'm talking double cheeked up on this Wednesday night. Yeah. I mean, face and ass so double cheeked up for life. And that's a 4-4-4, right? Right. And I can never tell when these days are gonna catch up to me. So every one of these days I start off with a prayer. Please, bow your heads. God, I thank you for this food that I'm about to receive, for the nourishment and strengthening of my body. Sunny days sweeping up clouds away. On our way to where the air is sweet. Now, most people only know that the creatures on Sesame Street are monsters because that's what they were told. Like most others, I grew up watching as a kid, but that was one thing I didn't know. I saw monsters on my screen, but they're a real life thing, not just something for TV shows. And to my surprise and nearly my demise, I meet some friendly monsters as I grow. The monsters on Sesame Street may not be scary to you or to me, but the things that scare you may not necessarily be ones that scare me. What I find scary and what you find scary may be two completely opposing things, which poses a question. If I pose as a monster, would you still believe that I'm a human being? Or do you not only believe what your eyes can see? Now, if I pose as an angel, or maybe a fairy, when I'm really a monster, would you still think that I'm scary? Because according to Sesame Street, Abby is both a monster and a fairy. But the kids don't really seem to think that she's that scary. Now, is that because she presents herself as a fairy? Or because they don't know that she's a monster? How do you know a monster when you see one? You can tell by just one look. Growing up, monsters weren't everywhere, just mainly on TV and in books. Or at least that's what I thought in my very young and people's mind. I made friends with a lot of monsters and one may think that I was blind. So I look at one, size him up, and think I knew what he was, but didn't see scales and didn't see fangs. I thought it was safe to give him a hug. And make him my friend and welcome him in and make him be someone on whom I depend for years and years to come. Growing up, my favorite color was red because it was the color of Jesus' blood, which is really just something I said to piece of Christians around me growing up, especially that monstrous Christian I lived with. And you know what else is red, right? Everyone's favorite monster, Elmo, the one with all the spotlight. He even has his own show in his very own world, which seemed so lit to me as a young naive girl, but red is the color of warning flags. And at the carnivals, we still go, as well as the color of anger and aggression and other negative emotions that people who are monsters show. And a monster is defined as a character who commits cruel behaviors and actions as one who does the same of others for their very own satisfaction. So what is it about this red monster that made him so iconic? Everyone says he's a friendly monster, which to me sounds quite oxymoronic. As I continued to grow, my favorite color changed and it went from red to blue. I stopped liking red and changed my favorite for reasons I really had no clue. As I got a little older, I grew out watching Sesame Street and moved on to more mature shows, but somehow I was still surrounded by monsters, and the scariest one liked to undo my clothes. I really didn't like feeling like my new favorite color, but he kept reaching for cookies that were hidden under covers, and at the time, no one really knew or cared. But then again, no one really flinched or was scared. Because you see this monster, he posed as a preacher man, but at night he would turn into a reaching man. But he was a friendly monster, so no one was screeching when they saw him. Eventually, I became grouchy, green with jealousy and rage, but it really wasn't until after I outed my monster and snatched the covers off his cage. I envied those who revealed their monsters and were immediately believed. I thought exposing mine for such egregious acts would provide me some relief, but like I said, no one cared because of who he posed to be. And so it took some time to have people seeing him exactly what they were supposed to see, but by then, I felt covered in filth. As I sat in my can after making them aware, he showed no remorse, denied being a monster, and went off to find other kids to scare. So can you tell kids how to get to Sesame Street and how to make sure the monsters they meet are actually friendly monsters like Abby and Elmo, and not the type of monsters that pose as something else just so they can get close to the kids who were taught that monsters will always be friendly, and not that there are monsters out there that see your innocence and seek its ending. So how do we teach them that something that looks harmless can actually be scary? Because growing up, we were taught to embrace monsters, that they're friendly creatures, but on the contrary, we have to constantly ask ourselves, what makes a monster a monster? And though I've identified quite a few in my life, it's still a question I'm left to ponder. So can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? How to get to Sesame Street? How to get to Sesame Street? I didn't mean to hurt you. It's not you, it's me. That's awesome shit he never said to me. And it wasn't often that he did much to celebrate me or show appreciation at the very least. But one thing that he would do is he would give me my favorite flower. Aww. I know there's something that's so sweet about when someone claims they love you and they show you how much you mean to them by giving you something dead, but that was one of his habits. He took pride in giving me things that made me stop and stare, giving me things that looked pretty but were already lifeless, while pretending to try and nurture it back to life, which will last for like a week. And I'd fake smile at him for that entire week as I watched him take care of each corpse, smile as I watched each petal fall to the floor, sunflower after sunflower just searching for the light, as sunflowers were supposed to. But then succumbing to his plight, as eventually I would too, and try my best not to, but failed. And he never cared, just gave me oh wells, treated my presence as if it were a major inconvenience, as if I was the one who was being facetious, like waiting on a sanction to be loved. But this sanctuary was ordained from the one up above my body as a sacred temple. But he treated me more like a regular church. I'd often fall to my knees and sometimes damn near beg and plead, just praying that he would appreciate me someday. But he just treated my love like it was the first Sunday, like, here, take this in remembrance of we. Take this body, but no soul. It's just as empty as it wants to be. It's a luring vessel, beautiful to behold, but serves no purpose outside of aesthetics, like an urn holding yet another lifeless thing, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Here, take this blood. As cold as it may be, but at least it came from my heart, right? But what about my blood, my sweat, my tears that I put in over our years? You're trying to get him to love me whole, love me right, love me completely, love me to life, all while he kept presenting me with dead things. Like, take this flesh, which he wanted me to consume, all the while I was being used for mine. And yeah, there were points where we had a good time, but my vines were restricted from growth. And if you know anything about vines, then you should already know they grow out of plants like flowers, helping them arise quickly as they try to grow higher, closer to the sunlight, closer to the one like I thought he was presenting me with a man, but like a boy, he just enjoyed playing in the dirt. Yeah. Digging up my love, only to send it to an early grave in earth. But I rose like that rose about the concrete. I rose like the flower I am, spreading my petals and roots as far and as wide as I can. I chose to not let his lack of love cause me to wither away, or cause me to feel faded and jaded, until one day he bought me a potted plant, and he took care of it when I was away. He took care of himself when I was away, and so I thought that it showed that he had the ability to love, until he left that potted flower behind like he left our love. I'm the dirt. I'm the dirt. In the dirt. Damn, autocorrect. It's almost as if my phone knows that he dug his roots so deep inside of me and used them to suck me dry of all the life I had inside of me. Almost as if my phone knows that I am the flower, but he is the one with the thorns that cut me deep. So deep I started to bleed green, not like an Eagles fan, but like a seed. As he took me and he crushed me between his fingers before I even had a chance to grow. And so now I know just how painful it is to yank jagged, poisonous thorns out of your skin one by one by one, not like how he placed them, but like how he left me hanging. Like the poisonous fruit from the tree in the garden of Eden. Eve was the one who took the first bite, but Adam knew they weren't supposed to be eating, and somehow they never tell you to blame Adam and not Eve, because Adam was the one with the instructions and he was the one who caused my destruction. He was supposed to tend to this garden. But he just skipped over the steps he was supposed to take. James hardly do we ever look at the full picture. Rarely do we ever water from a full picture. So no, don't give me my flowers while I can still smell them. Leave me in the garden if you still care about my petals. Don't pick them. Allow me to stay grounded. Water me. Don't drain me. Let this wildflower grow. Don't try to tame me. Allow me to remain me. Growing, flourishing, elegant, delicate, captivating, blooming, and alive. Thank you. Come on.